Hey, Fawn here. Believe it or not, the way I got introduced to scorpions was Transformers. It was that one scene where it was in the desert and the scorpions came through. I believe that scorpion, I forgot, did that scorpion belong to the helicopter? What was the helicopter? It wasn't Starscream, was it? Starscream did not own, was it? Bro, I forgot who that scorpion used to roll with. I don't know if it was by himself or he used to roll with Starscream or the helicopter dude that I forgot. Either way, I don't know. That's a very weird way to get introduced to what a scorpion is. A damn Michael Bay movie told me what a scorpion was. But that's not why we're here. TierZoo is why we're here. Are scorpions OP? I'm gonna give my every video. I'm gonna give my estimated dumbass guess. Are they OP? No, I don't think they are. I'm gonna be real. I don't think they that intelligent. Besides offense, that little poison, little stinger. What do they really have, bro? I don't know too much about their defense. I know a lot about their offense. But like on an estimated ignorant guess, I'm gonna be like, nah, they are not OP. But we are here to find out. That's why we are learning. So with that being said, if you're new, like, comment, subscribe. If you're not new, just keep coming back. Subscribe, but what are you doing? Damn.
Scorpions are one of the most intimidating builds in the game. They're also one of the oldest, and have been in the game since before the devs even added the terrestrial server DLC. Their combination of powerful claws and deadly stinger create an imposing threat to anyone looking to challenge them in combat. But has their ancient strategy held up in the face of the immense power creep the game has seen? Let's take a closer look at the stats and abilities Scorpions employ, and ultimately decide where they fall on the tier list. This video was made in partnership with
Hold on.
ultimately decide where
they gonna be C tier or B tier? No, C. They gonna be C tier. No way. No way they're higher than C.
This video was made in partnership with CuriosityStream. First, their stats. The Scorpion's stats are fairly...
Okay, we knew that. I knew they weren't that intelligent. I knew they had to be dumb as shit. Defense. I did not know their defense would be this high. Mobility, okay. Health, okay. Stealth. Didn't know they were that stealthy. Surprised me. This is like, honestly, this is kind of a B tier. This is really like a B tier to me. But I feel like they're a dumbass, so it would drop them down to a C tier. But their power and defense are kind of equal, which is... But, you know, mobility, health, stealth. I ain't gonna lie, they got the three major ones. So, I don't know, they might be... It's just that intelligence, bro. They dumb as hell.
Decent across the board. Nothing completely overtuned, but not really lacking in any areas other than mobility.
Yeah, like a B tier.
Their power is obviously
like
quite strong, as the Scorpion sports multiple types of damage-dealing equipment. Their claws act as potent grappling weapons, which can also deal minor crushing and slicing damage. Their Venom Sting is their ace move though, being able to one-shot most players if the move connects. Big if there, but we'll come back to that. Their defenses are quite sturdy, though they sport the fairly standard chitin armor found in most arthropod builds. This is all they really need to be able to deflect most attacks from players within their own weight.
See, I didn't know anything about their defense.
Counterattack with its piercing stinger. It gets easily crushed by larger foes, however. Yeah. This armor is also crucial for avoiding passive environmental damage from things like sandstorms, which are common in the biomes Scorpion mains favor. Despite the fact that humans have a way to completely negate the Scorpion's camouflage, against most opponents, the Scorpion's stealth is quite effective. In addition to camouflage, the Scorpion's flat shape allows it to easily wedge itself into more defensible positions. Camouflage, the Scorpion's
I never
flat shape...
really paid attention to how weird Scorpions move. Hold on, they really maneuver weirdly to me. Like they maneuver like spiders, and I don't like that. Like, obviously, because I don't know, bro. I just never really paid attention to how they maneuver.
Or defensible
I don't like it. It's creepy.
And their digging ability enables them to take cover in a pinch, which is good because stealth is basically their only option
this
against
man
more powerful players.
It's chewing on the stinger.
Larger builds. You'd think their potent venom would make for an effective deterrent against attacks, but as we'll see, this defense falls apart rather quickly when it's truly tested. Their intelligence being below average is no surprise. Intelligence builds weren't viable at all when scorpions were first added to the game. And while it's by far the most power-crept stat in the game now, back during the Ordovician expansion, intelligence as a strategy was largely ignored, and most players didn't level it beyond the point of granting basic sensory capabilities. So with all that said, scorpions are a solid build with a straightforward strategy and a respectable history. However, as alluded to earlier, power creep has massively undercut the viability of scorpion builds. A good player will have very little difficulty playing around the scorpion's strengths and exploiting its major weaknesses. So let's talk about those weaknesses. The straightforward nature of the scorpion's strategy is great for new players to be able to learn quickly. The scorpion's core strategy is to grapple an opponent, immobilizing them so that the scorpion's sting attack can connect without issue. The problem is, if they miss their grapple attempt, things can get dicey pretty quickly. Without claws holding the target in place, the venom sting attack has a pretty terrible accuracy rating. It's easily dodged, blocked, or avoided. Worse still, this stinger is not a disjointed hitbox. It can be damaged just the same as the rest of the scorpion's body. In fact, when dealing with a scorpion, this is the optimal strategy. Scorpion claws are fairly weak compared to other clawed arthropods. Hermit crabs and lobsters can both deal far more damage via their
I am terrified of lobsters.
Scorpions rarely deal lethal damage in such
a way. Crab.
So if an opponent attacks and disables their stinger, it's often game over for the scorpion. Scorpions also have very little counterplay when faced with multiple opponents. With no multi-target or AoE attacks, and no means of quick escape, they're quickly overwhelmed from a multi-directional onslaught.
Oh my gosh, bro, I mention this all the time, but like, I think I mentioned this when I watched that ant video and that casual video, bro. Literally, I used to watch this dude farm. He had like an ant farm, and he would like just put like, I don't know, like a cricket or like a spider. He would mainly put spiders in there. Cause I think that's what the people wanted to see. Like, we just wanted to see the ants just swarm the spider, and like it was just crazy to see them like just break down the spider one by one. They were taking like legs off, and he put like a scorpion in there, and they killed the scorpion. I was like, "There's no way ants killed a scorpion." I was so appalled, but it makes sense. There's a bunch of ants. It was more surprising how they was just taking the limbs off one by one. They was taking the legs off. That was blowing my mind. They was really strategizing. Like, I'm like, yo.
Directional onslaught. Their grab attacks are also not as effective as they need to be at times. Because they mostly rely on
I ain't gonna lie, the more and more we learn, bro, they really C tier.
Resist being punctured by these
damn near D.
Can often slip right out of their grip with ease. Not that the scorpion had much hope of landing a sting against a target with high puncture resistance anyway. Now let's talk about matchups. First, the bad, of which there are many. The scorpion's worst matchups are going to be builds that spec into puncture-resistant armor or venom resistance. Several mammal builds, like the shrew and mongoose, opt for venom resistance solely for the purpose of subverting the scorpion's defenses, which makes this a borderline unwinnable matchup. The round shape of beetle armor is perfect for deflecting sting attacks, and extremely difficult to secure via grappling. Beetles tend to also be fairly lacking in their offensive stats, so it is rare to actually be defeated by one, but as a hunting target, they present quite a challenge. Ants obviously must be avoided at all costs, as scorpions have no outs against a swarming attack. Birds have high accuracy on their pecking attacks, and are often quite good at targeting their stingers. Their quick movement presents very little opportunity for counterattack, making this a tough matchup.
Bro, I really be forgetting how quick birds move, bro. That man is dancing on them.
And their feathers provide zero puncture resistance. Reptiles are kind of a toss-up. An attack from a lizard or snake is usually powerful enough to deal heavy damage through the scorpion's armor. However, these attacks usually present ample opportunity for a stinging counterattack too. If it connects, it may one-shot the reptile, but not before it has already dealt potentially lethal damage anyway. Scale armor is also somewhat puncture resistant, so this, combined with the sting's low accuracy, means these fights tend to favor the reptile. For good matchups, scorpions are actually quite effective against spiders. They lack strong armor and need to get in close to deliver their own lethal strike, presenting lots of opportunity for counterattacks. Their webbing is of course a threat, but it's difficult for a spider to web down all three weapons, especially since the claws can slice through silk. Scorpions are also fairly decent
Spiders,
at
man.
defending themselves from mammals like cats and dogs, as their claws cannot do much damage against the scorpion's armor, but the scorpion can easily counterattack for lethal if the mammal gets too careless. There are a few abilities I think could turn scorpions into a top-tier threat.
Okay.
A more versatile grappling option would be a solid start. Their claws struggle to secure opponents with puncture resistance or round shape, both of which are fairly abundant in the current meta. But there are plenty of other
Ew.
grappling techniques they could spec into instead of pincher claws.
Just slimed them out.
The
Yeah.
Worm's glue spray attack could work well to immobilize prey, though this might not be
Yeah,
super
what the
effective
f-
when trying to pin a player to a sandy surface. They could spec into the sort of tether grab attack like the chameleon uses, though this requires a level of precision and accuracy that I don't think the Scorpion's current perception perks can quite support. Scorpions could really benefit from catching up to the other arthropods who run the Compound Eyes perk, as this would really help alleviate their accuracy problem. One strat I think would work really well would be to min-max for the burrowing playstyle a bit more deliberately. The Antlion's playstyle of building a trap could be really effective, and the Scorpion is already fairly decent at digging holes. The added protection of staying out of sight would help against some of their worst matchups too. As they are now though, to be honest, I do think Scorpions have been power crept pretty hard, and that their glory days of being a top meta threat are long gone. Their powerful grab sting death combo is still quite powerful, but their strategy is too easily subverted to make a dent in high level play. I place them firmly in D tier on the tier.
I knew it. Okay. I know. I gave him C. I gave him C. I knew it. I knew it. I wasn't so ignorant after all. I'm like, bro, what does Scorpions really have, bro? But as I was listening as it was going on, I'm like, man, they offense not too accurate. Defense is iffy at times. It's looking real D tier, bro. But I thought he'd give him C. I thought at least
Nonetheless,
C.
Scorpions are a fascinating build that I do hope eventually get buffed.
Yeah.
If you'd like to learn more about Scorpions, there's an excellent documentary I can recommend called Animal Armor. It's part of a series called Nature's Fight Club, and this episode...
Oh, yeah, that's it. All right, look. I knew it. My prediction was right. I don't want to hear nothing. I knew it. They are like nothing. Like, they're really nothing, bro. Scorpions, bro, like, it's like... I didn't know all that, though. Like, I didn't know their defense was kind of iffy. I didn't know their offense was kind of, like, inaccurate at times. Like, it's not that powerful. You know what I mean? Like, that's where Scorpions rank in the meta game. Hopefully they get a patch, update, a buff, something. They need it. So with that being said, see you on the next one.